Chapter 20. I know it's childish, but I stopped to the kitchen and rinsed my plate without being careful. I like its clatter in the sink. I'm angry at my father and angry at Don Quixote, who wants to be famous for losing. Rubbing my plate hard with a sponge, I play a familiar game, thinking of names I would rather have. Emily, Haley, Madison. Names that people know how to pronounce. Names with only one dot. Kihana has two, like little eyes that watch for my mistakes. I lie on my bed and try listening to music. It usually unbuttons a bad mood, but not this time. The manatee poster smiles at me from the ceiling, but I can't even look at her. Instead, I open my sock drawer and pull out the envelope from the garage sale. I count out ones, fives, and tens, putting them in three piles. $52. Bus fare is $177. How can I earn more? Fast. I hear a knock. Ugh. Why can't Dad let me stay mad? Can I come in, he says. I sweep the money back into the drawer and bounce onto my bed. Yeah. I pull out my earbuds. He looks around the room as if he hasn't seen it before. His gaze moves from my stuffed manatee to my origami swan to the bookshelf. From the doorway he says, "School. It's going well?" I'm about to be annoyed that every conversation seems to start with this question when he sighs and rubs his face. He lowers his head and I suddenly see my dad as if from far away. He looks like a nice man who has something to say. "School's fine, Dad." "As usual. I don't mention the not fines." He nods. "Of course it is. Education is so important. You will always do well in school, yes?" "You know I do, Dad." What is he after? "Yes, because you are a lista, Kihana. Since you were little, you have always asked questions. Always your eyes stay open." He sits on the edge of the bed, and it's hard to stay annoyed, hearing his soft voice. Still, I can't help thinking he doesn't know me, not the real me. "I love you very much," he says, looking into my eyes, "no matter what." He means it, and I know this. But I'm also thinking it doesn't count. Of course he loves me, but can anyone else? Sometimes it feels like I'm nothing but a pair of flaws. I bet Quijana would love the Guatemalan stuff on our walls, get A's in Spanish, and stand up at the bus stop boys. Grandma said to stay true to myself. Is my real self a failed Latina? Did I ever tell you about Castell? More than once, I say to myself. One of your grandmother's horses? Yes, my favorite one. He was gray like Castle Stone with a soft black nose. Castell was a better friend to me than any village child. He and I spent hours together exploring the land. My father's face turns even sadder now. Usually his Castell stories light him up. Maybe I haven't heard this one. One day his breathing was coming hard. Something was wrong. He tried to put his nose in my hand, but he could hardly lift his head. A neighbor told me that a certain fruit might save him, and another said an herb might help. I hiked many kilometers to find the tree that made the fruit. Then I traded 5 eggs from my own chickens for the herb. I mashed these together and brought them to Castell. By now he was very sick. I fed him my medicine, but it didn't help. A hired man took away his suffering with a shotgun. My father's eyes met mine, and something softens inside of me. You see, we do not win every time, but in trying, we show our love. We show the goodness of our hearts. I see the goodness of his heart. I'm not sure about mine. I'm not as good as he thinks. After all, I'm planning to hop a bus in the middle of the night without telling him. I try to figure out why he's telling me the story right now. Maybe he means that trying really is the important thing, even a stuttering trying like mine. Trying to be me, trying to live up to my name. I'm not very good at either one. He touches the side of my face with 2 fingers. Me, Kihanita. My nickname wakes up a memory. Dad lifting me up to see a blooming branch of bud. His Ita echoes in my ears. It's a drop of honey in the air, a swirl of cinnamon stirred into my name. I can't help but forgive him for pushing Quixote into my life. Even so, I wish Quixote could accomplish something and not be so weird. Dad kisses my forehead and hugs my head to his chest, but I still feel alone. When my computer dings, I immediately perk up. I click open the Skype window, and it's Grandma with her wavy white hair and bright eyes. Grandma! Hola, Elizabeth, says Dad. You and Kihana have fun. Bye, Antonio. She waves as Dad leaves the room. How's my girl? Does anything hurt, Grandma? Do you feel any better? I hope to after surgery, sweetie. It's scheduled for next week, she says. They'll try to take out all the cancer, and we'll go from there. My heart lifts. Once the doctors remove all the cancer, everything will be back to how it was. Spring breaks, and Thanksgivings, and Christmases, and summer visits to watch the hatching sea turtles. Oh, Grandma, that'll be great. It could be. Nothing is certain in this world except that you are my favorite granddaughter. I'm your only granddaughter, I say with a grin. Exactly, she wins. Tell me, how's the guitar going? Are you writing that song you mentioned? Yeah, I started it. I only have 2 lines. I think the first 2 lines are probably the hardest ones. I think about that. When I took biology, we started by studying unicellular organisms. Those are organisms made up of only one cell, like algae and bacteria. But all life, beetles and trees and blue whales, it all grows from that one idea from a tiny building block. So the first 2 lines are very important. Grandma makes everything seem possible, but I wonder if she's more worried than she seems. Are you scared, Grandma? About the surgery? No, I've had an operation before. Gallbladder. About the cancer. She swallows. I am afraid. She takes a deep breath and looks up as if searching for words. But not for myself. Fear comes from resisting what life brings you, from wanting your own way. I've seen a lot of death, Kihana. As a biologist, I know in a deep way that my body is mortal. What I worry about are my daughters, and especially you. But we're not sick. No, of course. But you'll have to say goodbye to me eventually, maybe very soon. And goodbyes are hard. I try to process each part of what she said. So you're not afraid to die? I'm not. It's natural. But you're afraid for me. Yes and no. You'll flourish in your life, I'm sure of that. But you'll grieve too. And not just for me. All your life you'll be letting go of things. The great secret is to relish the moments as they happen, but let endings happen too. I don't know. I'm not feeling cheered up the way she probably wants me to. That's hard. Yes, but listen, I have friends who had cancer years ago and came through it just fine. That could very well be me. Surgery first, then I'll have some decisions to make. I don't want to be kept alive with, machines and things. I want to live for real or not at all. I want her to live too, forever. Which is childish, I know. But Grandma sounds strong, like she always does, and surgery will keep the cancer from getting worse. If her friend survived cancer, she can too. She can get well.